our last of the week of Netzach. And today's one of my favorites because it's Hod Shebenetzach. And Netzach and Hod are like fraternal twins, one might say. They are completely different, yet they come from the same place. And I know it's going to be strange when I explain it, but I do feel it does. And that is that Netzach is, right, that fortitude, ambition, energy, doing. Let's move forward. And Hod is splendor, humility. Let's sit back a little bit and listen. And the reason why I say they're twins, it's kind of like fraternal twins, is that they come from the same place of making our lives better, but they do it in completely opposite ways. The first one is ambition. Let's go, let's do, let's accomplish, let's make everything happen, and which is fantastic, right? All of us want something like that in our lives because it allows us to do things. It allows us to accomplish. It allows us to be. And yet at the same time, there are those moments where you have to kind of sit back and you have to look at what you are doing and reflect upon it and understand that maybe the direction you're going might not be the right direction. So, when I was thinking about this earlier today, I was thinking that humility within ambition is the concept that we're not always right. It's like you want to put your best foot forward all the time and have ambition and have fortitude and endurance and to keep things going and to keep that energy churning throughout your life. But if you don't have that balance and balance is a word that I've talked about all week, really, when it comes to Netzach. The balance is, well, there might be other ways to look at this. That's the humility part. Is, yeah, this is the way I think it should be done, but to be open enough to allow other points of view to seep into what you're talking about and what you're thinking about, and to understand that you may have all the best intentions, but the way that you're going about it might not be the right way. So to kind of pull back and have the Hod, have that humility to be able to say, maybe I'm not always right. I'm kind of laughing because when I hear myself say it, it's like, but I am always right, that kind of a thing. But that's where humility comes in. Humility is that understanding that I may have a special power inside of me, as we all do. But at the same time, others also have power, and all ideas are not equal. And just because I think it's the right way to go, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is. And humility is the ability to, I think, look at what you're doing and look at yourself and look at how you're going about your life and going outside of yourself and looking at that and saying, is that benefiting me the best that it can? It's also, when I think of humility within our fortitude, when I think of Hod Shebenetzach, I also think about the idea that we need to pause sometimes and think about what we're doing as opposed to just doing. And I think that's one of the wonderful things that this meditation does, is that the things that come up in my mind as I'm doing the meditation, I notice what is in the forefront of my thoughts, and it allows me to kind of approach that to say, okay, this is where I am. And how is that in relation to the other things that I'm doing in my life? And I think this meditation and the idea of Hod is that reflection of what you're doing. Is it being done for the right reason? Are you going in a direction that's going to benefit you? Hod is, for me, that thing that allows you to sit back and look at your life to determine these questions, as opposed to Netzach, which is, let's just do. It's kind of like that id inside of you that's like, let's do it. We got to go. We got to do this. We have to make this happen. Hod is like, yes, we have to make this happen, but let's step back a second. See whether this is the right approach. And for me, that's an incredibly helpful way to look at the things that I do in my life. And I hope that you can find that too. that we need to do. We need things that are enduring in our lives. But we also need to know that we're not the only human being on this planet. There are billions of others. And there are other ways to do things, other ways to approach the same actions that I'm attempting to do. So it's almost like Hod is a way of interpreting our actions to see whether they are actually meeting our goals. It's kind of putting aside the ego that says, I'm always right and I know exactly what I'm doing, to say, I know what I'm doing, but I can always use another point of view. Or I know what I'm doing, but I don't always go about it in the perfect way. And that admitting that I might not know everything and that what I'm doing might not necessarily be the best thing, I think that's an important spiritual attribute to have. So let's bring ourselves into our quiet time. And at the end, we'll ask for feelings of joy and to feel whole. So let's get ourselves into a good position. Just breathing regular. If you need to take a deep breath to start, absolutely fine. But we're just breathing our regular breath, and we're feeling the breath inside of us, how our body accepts the breath, how it puts it away, and how it feels inside of our body. So we want to be in touch with our body, be in touch with the sounds that are all around us, be in touch with the feelings that are inside of us, and to kind of get an understanding of just being in the universe at this moment. We're just allowing everything to be as it is for now. Just breathing. As we move into our last 3 or 4 minutes together, we start to ask. We ask questions of the universe, we ask questions of ourselves, and we say, may I feel joy. May I feel whole as we work towards Shabbat, the joy of Shabbat, the wholeness that Shabbat can bring us. That towards the end of the week we think about, how can I feel like a whole human being? May I feel joy, and may I feel whole. May I feel whole, and may I feel joy. Sometimes we have to force ourselves to smile, to feel that joy, to overcome obstacles. And sometimes that joy can lead us to a feeling of wholeness, of oneness within ourselves. May I feel whole. May I feel joy. May I feel joy, and may I feel whole. May I feel whole. May I feel joy. You can say it out loud. You can whisper it on each breath. May I feel joy. May I feel whole. If you'd like to offer this to someone else, just put them in your mind's eye in front of you, and you may offer these 2 feelings for them. May I feel joy. May you feel joy. May you feel whole. May you and I feel joy. Or may you and I feel whole. May you feel whole. May you feel joy. May you feel joy. And may you feel whole. May you feel whole. May you feel joy. And let's just bring it back to ourselves. May I feel joy. May I feel whole. May I feel whole. May I feel joy. May I feel whole. May I feel joy. May I feel joy. May I feel whole. And let us just finish with some breathing, allowing ourselves just to be for a moment. Easy breaths. We allow everything to be. In just a moment, we'll go back to the world. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you were able to find some peace and stillness. And may you feel joy, and may you feel whole, and may your hod be within your netzach. Have a wonderful evening, a great weekend, a fantastic Shabbat, and we'll see you next week.